So if you've been involved with the stock market for a while, then you know that it takes not only a good understanding of the markets, but of human emotion as well. However, that's kind of easier said than done, especially when you think about things like work, family, school, and all of the other responsibilities that we have. Finding consistent candidates to trade can be extremely challenging. So in this video, I'm going to break down some of the tips and strategies to help you find the next big move no matter what season of life you're in. Coming right up.
Hey, what's up? Rob here with Wealth Builders HQ, where we bring you the best tips and tools for building your skills to develop wealth for today and well into the future. And on this channel, we do a lot of stock market analysis for long and short term, as well as recaps just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, one of the questions we get most from our Wealth Builders HQ community is, how do you look at where the stock market has been and determine where it is headed? So we have actually put together an entire free live training workshop that is all about finding the best candidates for today's market. And there's a section for the community, you, to bring your stocks to the event and have me analyze them for you in real time. This free workshop is called Power Hour, and it's taught every Monday live online at noon Eastern Time. I'll leave a link to it below in the show notes.
Before we get into the economic reports, guys, let's go ahead and talk about the trading the upcoming storm for a moment. The market is going to have a crash. It's inevitable. We have an idea of when it's going to happen. No guarantees, but we have an idea when it's going to happen. Certainly, we understand what to do when the market does crash, how to protect our assets. When I say we know, I'm talking about at Wealth Builders HQ. We understand what it takes to do just that, how to protect yourself so you're not getting in trouble. Guys, this is a free workshop. It's now a recorded webinar up on our website. Click on that link and it'll take you there. You can go and watch that video. Guys, it's only going to be up a couple more days and we're taking it down. So if you truly want to understand what it takes, how we made $1.389 million in our paper trading account last year for one program that we teach, just one. That's not everything we do. That's just one program that we do, right? And we trade every single trade that we call in advance the exact way that we say we're going to trade it, right? And you can see every single one of those now. And we go through the trades, and I'll show you how December of 2018 was a horror story for most every trader out there. The markets crashed. Worst December since since 1930. And it was our best December ever. Why? Because we understand how to trade those types of markets. So go ahead and check it out. All right. And there is a link in the description below that you can go click on as well. So upcoming economic events. We've got a bunch of events, a lot of Fed stuff happening this week, which is FOMC, right? Fed Chair Powell testifies 2 days in a row, Tuesday and Wednesday. Right? But you've got some important reports here, guys. Know before you go, right? Before you get into a trade, understand what's going on. If you're going to enter into a trade at 9:45 on Wednesday and the chairman speaks at 10 o'clock and he opens his mouth and inserts foot, it could dramatically affect what happens with your stock. So you want to make sure that you know exactly what's going on there. All right? From there, let's go look at earnings. Now, of course, we're winding down into the end of earnings. We always have a couple of stragglers along the way of those coming up. Home Depot, as an example, AutoZone, right? Budweiser, and so forth, right? There's a couple of still Lowe's, Best Buy, a couple of really good companies out there, TJ Maxx, that have earnings coming out over this next week, all right? So be careful. Always check earnings before you go, before you place that trade. Know before you place it. All right, closing the gap on the December highs, guys. The cover slide for this week, right? We've had a great push to the upside, and you can see the circle on the right is where we are now, where the circle on the left, that little doji candle hanging out right there, you know, in that circle to the left is where the highs were in December. Now, we've had higher highs yet on the S&P. That's not what I'm referencing here. What I'm talking about here, what I'm thinking about here, what my concern here is this. Or not even concerned, but concerned that you guys understand it, is we're pushing up to those highs. Are we going to break out from there? And we went through, I already did the video this morning in our power option plays, and we talked about where we're going from here, how to trade what we see going on. We're seeing more and more bullish bias candidates showing up on our list right now. We're getting more true bullish biases with our moving averages, the way that we measure bias. We've got a fairly accurate 5-level bias that tells us if we're bullish, bearish, neutral, very easy ones to understand, Bullish neutral and bearish neutral are the other two. And we can determine from that the type of trade we do, the number of contracts we do, and it minimizes our risk dramatically in that trade. All right? So be very careful as we push up to the recent highs, which is that 2800-ish level, 2801 in jingle, right? Level. Be very careful as we get up to that level there, as you're placing your trades, waiting for the moves. Right? So let's go ahead and take a look at, our charts. Right, so let's go look at some of the movers and shakers from last week. So I'm going to go to a weekly chart right now and kind of zoom in a little bit. So here we have the S&P 500. Actually, we'll go to a daily chart first on the S&P. Right, if you look at the last 5 days, 4 days actually, because the fifth day was the Friday. We had a holiday this Monday. So it's only a 4-day week. Friday was a great move. Small move up Tuesday and Wednesday. Little pullback on Thursday, which is the orange bar. And then Friday, we had a great move to the upside. Again, we're looking at that 2,000-ish level as our key area that we're focused on. Right? From a weekly standpoint, we were up about 17 points on the week. From a daily standpoint, we were up 17 points on Friday. Aha! So not a whole lot happening on after the move up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday fall, Friday being the up. Friday was the day. Friday saved the S&P's bacon. Right? When we look at Amazon, Amazon moved a whole $23 the whole week is what it was up for the week. It's stuck inside what we call a dreaded box of neutrality. Right? It's in this rectangle. It's not something we look at on daily chart, on weekly charts. We look at it on daily charts. You can see the dreaded box of neutrality there. Right? So we've got a very specific strategy in place on how to trade the 2 or 3 candidates that came up this week with those types of boxes. But Amazon did nothing is what I'm getting at. Right? Alibaba, now we're cooking with gas, baby. Almost 11 points. Great breakout move to the upside. I love what it did last week. So overall, good move. Booking, right, had a nice push up. We may get that fail back down again, right? But it had a good move to the upside and then pulled back, and it lost 23 points on the week, rather. And then Tesla gave back 13 points from last week, right? $13 on the week. So let's go look at some for this upcoming week now. Let's start off with Alibaba. Alibaba had that great move last week as we showed. Guys, we're looking at 179 as let's go to a daily chart. We're looking at that 179 level for our next target on Alibaba, but great potential for it up there. Baidu, let's get a little bigger picture look here. So Baidu, after their earnings, failed miserably. Already hit that 165 level. Plan on it again, but if we can break through that 165, I'm looking at 155 as our next downside target. PANW, good move up. We took a trade on this one this week. Let me just check our tracking sheet here. We did a day trade on PANW because they have earnings coming out. We were up a couple grand on that day trade on it. Based on the rules and the announcement, the call that I made on Thursday, I said, hey, if PANW does this, take the trade. And we went through in today's video exactly why we would have taken the trade, where we took the trade, how we exited the trade, how we manage it. All of that is the components that we did in Power Option Plays today. Right? The last one is Tesla, TSLA. Now, Tesla, good move to the downside on Thursday. Friday, it bounced up a little bit. If we break the 292.70, that purple line, that 618 Fibonacci level, look for the move down to 277. Folks, that is a nice 15-ish points to the downside. Awesome move, right? And Tesla can do it. Tesla moves about $10.50 a day on average. So it definitely can move that level. Folks, I'm excited about what this week can bring for us. Make sure you're ready for it.
I hope this update was helpful, and I would love to hear your feedback in the comments below. And actually, if you want more insights like this, you could just go over to wealthbuildershq.com. I'll post a link to it below. Now, the question of the day is, what stocks are you going to be looking at for next week? Go ahead and let me know in the comments section below. So thank you for checking out this video. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't done so yet. And until next time, Wealth Builders HQ is bringing you the best tips and tools for building sustainable wealth in the stock market. Keep crushing it, and we'll talk soon. Take care, folks.